Now Baltimore will look to continue their win streak against the Vikings, who upset the Lions in Week 9 after getting their own quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, back from injury. And so, are you concerned that the Ravens will get now upset, though, by the Vikings? This game's not in Baltimore. RC, what do you think?
You know what? I am concerned. I don't believe it'll happen, but you have to be concerned. When you watch the film of what Brian Flores was able to do to Jared Goff last week, it was absolutely phenomenal. The pressure he put on him in the middle of the pocket, making Jahmyr Gibbs a blocker instead of someone that releases on third down. It was a masterful performance by him. But that's the only thing that scares me. When you look at J.J. McCarthy right now, as he's still trying to get an understanding of the NFL game, he's played 2 good quarters and 1 pass. That's what we've seen from him. And so now with Kyle Hamilton moving closer to the line, Zach Orr really figuring out how to use him as a chess piece, and the acquisition of Alohi Gilman, this defense has been on the rise for the last 3 weeks. And I think J.J. McCarthy just still isn't in a place right now to attack them or Lamar Jackson, who has a stellar record against NFC teams.
Stephen A?
Maybe the Vikings will give us a reason to be concerned. I just don't find myself very concerned about them for the Ravens for this game. I think that when you think about Brian Flores and what he's able to dial up, RC, Cam, I harken back to 2021 when Brian Flores was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Yes, I'm mentioning that because he should still be a head coach in his league. But I'm thinking about him, and I'm thinking about how he dialed up the blitz against Lamar Jackson and made life a living hell for Lamar back then. And when Lamar defers to what he has become, particularly under duress when he's blitzed, and how much better he is compared to what he used to be, he brings up that experience that he had against Brian Flores' defense. So he's familiar with this man and how this man is going to bring the rain and going to bring the heat. And Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback because of it. I think about Lamar and what he's going to do. I'm also thinking about Baltimore and how Baltimore's only given up 13 points or so over the last few games, and they forced so many turnovers. And then I'm thinking about J.J. McCarthy. He's still a rookie, y'all, in terms of his play. He's 2-1 as a starter. He's only completing 58% of his passes, which is lowest amongst, quarterbacks with at least 3 starts. Only 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 14 sacks, which is the worst sack percentage among quarterbacks with a minimum of 3 starts. I think Baltimore can get to him. I'm just not worried about Minnesota in this game.
Yeah. When you look at the gameplay of a J.J. McCarthy, the thing that sticks out to me, he still has that look of uncertainty a little bit. And when you have as many games started as he does, you are reminded that he's still a rookie with his experience. Well, when you play an intimidating lineage of a team like the Baltimore Ravens, these things is what kind of gives you heartache at night. When you start to think like, oh, I'm playing Baltimore? You don't know from whoever came before to things that they're there now, and you start to think to yourself like, am I playing the Baltimore Ravens defense or am I playing Lamar Jackson? These things show up in J.J. McCarthy's play, even though he has the best receiver in the game. And even that has been something that's been kind of a head scratcher because his numbers have dropped dramatically, this particular year. So I'm not worried that the Minnesota Vikings can potentially, give the Baltimore Ravens an upset, even though the record, will say anything different. I'm just expecting the Baltimore Ravens to take this game and other games moving forward to really find their footing and their traction as the season goes on.
I mean, we still have to remember, as the team, not just J.J. McCarthy, as the team, the Minnesota Vikings went into Detroit and won the game. Yep. That's an extremely difficult place to do so. And so to just think that all the problems of the Baltimore Ravens are fixed automatically right now, I think that's a bit presumptive. And so, yes, the Baltimore Ravens have to go play their best ball to get this win in Minnesota.
It feels like the defense is fixed, though. Through the first 5 games, that defense was the worst in the NFL. The last 3 games, they've only allowed 1 passing touchdown, so they're going in the right direction. The game of the week, though, it's going to be Monday night, right? When the
Ravens, I find this a confounding spread. J.J. McCarthy is 2-0 outright in his young career as the betting underdog. He's played a total of 3 games, so take that for what it's worth. What should I take away from this number?
Stop looking at the record. The record is not who Baltimore is. The power ranking is who Baltimore is. This is a much better team than the record indicates, number 1. Number 2, 10 days to get ready for this game. Number 3, there's not a lot of faith in J.J. McCarthy right now. especially when it comes to the betting market. He's winning games, yes, but the win against Chicago, the numbers were terrible outside of the fourth quarter. The game last week against Detroit, that Lions offensive line fell apart. And the thing with the Lions, if everything isn't running perfectly, Goff's never going to bail you out. You saw it again last week.
I think that's unfair to what they did. Joe, honestly, they went into Detroit.
It's a good
very
win,
hostile
how much
environment.
Of it was McCarthy?
McCarthy was when it mattered most, 3rd and 5, hits the play.
But they won the game. I mean, I hear what you're saying, whether it's McCarthy or not. So now we're having two different conversations.
Correct.
One of them is about J.J. McCarthy. Let's table that for a minute. We're putting the picks on the screen. That's an impressive win for Minnesota.
I think it was impressive. I think they're at home. I also think we look at the box score, and I mentioned this earlier in the show, we look at the numbers of what the Ravens did last week. We say, oh, well, they blew out Miami. They're back. They really struggled in that first half against a bad Dolphins team, and now I say they're going into Minnesota. Let's just not crown the Ravens just yet.
Final thoughts.
Well, listen, the Ravens are starting to figure it out. Like, we talk about the biggest and most important piece that they got back was Patrick Ricard, because he opens up everything. He's the eyes for Derrick Henry. He's also a guy that gives you crazy personnel issues. And now with Kyle Hamilton being able to be the chess piece, he'll probably be over T.J. Hawkinson this week. They can use him to take away what you do best.
I mean, honestly, right now we've seen J.J. McCarthy play 2 good quarters and a throw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what are you going to do against this defense that's now become so much more multiple since they acquired Alohi Gilman? And I don't care how it looked in the first half. What we saw from Lamar Jackson in the second half with his ability to pass from the pocket, use the play action game, and then now a week and a half healthier, I expect the Baltimore Ravens to play extremely well.
They have extra West, obviously, coming off that Thursday game. Really interesting game. It's a great weekend of NFL. Let's continue here with a moment with the Chiefs.
Are at their best. There is nothing that you could do with them. You couldn't get to Josh Allen. Josh Allen was basically perfect last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's because they can't create pressure. Chris Jones is no longer the one-man wrecking crew that he used to be, so now Steve Spagnuolo has to commit extra people to the rush in order to put pressure on the quarterback, and Josh Allen went absolutely crazy. If you want to win, you got to stop the Allens, you got to stop the Lamar Jacksons, and without a pass rush, you can't do that.
But I wasn't disappointed because they didn't get to Josh Allen. What I was disappointed about is they couldn't exploit a leaky Buffalo Bills rush defense. Had opportunity to go get Breece Hall, who would have completed the entire puzzle. You talk about how do you beat Lamar Jackson, how you beat Josh Allen by keeping their ass on the bench because I got time of possession and I'm moving the chains. I think that was the biggest loss, that they decided not to come off a 4th-round draft pick. They want to come on a 3rd-round draft pick to get Breece to close the deal.
What do you think, Peter?
We'll see if it haunts them or not. I think a lot of people thought they were going to make a move for a running back here because at the end of that game, and no shade to any of those players, you're dealing with Kareem Hunt, Pacheco, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and it doesn't seem like they have the same pop they used to in the last championship runs. But they are 10 toes down, they are with their guys, and they are not making a move for running
Peter,
back.
how much of that is we've been there and done
think it is that.
Like, we've found ways to win when people think we're lacking.
No doubt, and that was at the wide receiver spot last year. Everyone thinks that we need this, we need that, we need this,
but
we're going to roll with our guys.
The feel has improved. It's different. What happened last year, what you could do last year, doesn't mean you can do it this year.
Chiefs remain the top.